The Force by LL Cool J himself. I haven't listened to much LL Cool J. I've heard, of course, Mom's Gonna Knock You Out, Mama, that song. Besides that, I've listened to a couple others. I try to get into him. I don't care for him too much, but he does have a lot of creative songs and tunes that I've heard throughout the years. So when I heard The Force, or when it was announced, I was like, okay, I'm a little intrigued. I want to hear what this album is going to be like, so I listened to it. And it's short, 43 minutes, only 14 songs, easy to get through. It's very fun and enjoyable. I love the opening with Spirit of Cyrus, the Force, Saturday Night Special. It just kind of sets up the theme of this album, and I thought it was really good. Each song had unique rhymes and doubles, and I think Saturday Night Special really took off with amazing storytelling that I haven't heard in the whole rap game for a minute. I thought that was good. I didn't care for the center of the album as much. I thought that Provocatives and 30 Decembers were kind of boring and hard to get through. I didn't care for them too much. While I thought that the stories in them were fun and good, I just thought that the whole way that he rapped, it didn't capture my attention and hype, and I wasn't like, what? I did think Run It Back and even Postmodern, mostly Run It Back, and even, Way in the Chair, but mostly Run It Back, were kind of nice, good breakups in the album. It kind of felt like the story was going, and we had these nice little breakups that was just kind of letting you capture and just hear like raw rap, and I really like that. If you're a big like hip hop purist and such, I think you'll really like those tracks too. They had a lot of soul in them, like a lot of like older hip hop. They have more funk. That's the word I'm looking for. More funk. A lot of points in this album, like on Passion or Black Hole Suite, it was just like pure like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Speaking of crazy, obviously I'm going to talk about Murdergram 2 featuring Eminem. My favorite from the record. I'm biased. I like Eminem. Hey, sleeve. But I like that just murder. And actually, I think LL Cool J killed it in that song. He did so good. The entire time he was going on, just... If you listen to one song, listen to that song. Eminem obviously killed it too. Speaking of features, I actually think that my favorite feature was not Eminem. Eminem did such an amazing job on the track. I like the closing song a lot. I think the last song, The Vow, might be my favorite song. Every single person, L Cool J, Mad Squabbles, J-San, Don Pablito, did so good. They all were just filled with this passion, this energy, and I never listened to J-San before. He took that song and ran with it. He was so phenomenal. And ever since his rhyme schemes, his rap ability, his quirkiness, he has a line in that song. He has the line, so you can place your bets. You bet against me, you're gonna stay in debt. That's a fun line. I really like it. Another line I like though is the one that comes right after, which is, I stay the best because I'm the only rookie that can face the vets. And he only has like 53,000 listeners, and he's with LL Cool J. He's on an album with LL Cool J, an album with Eminem on it. Like, he's spitting facts. And there's also this line in the song Passion, where LL Cool J says, Andre the Giant, 3,000 ways to make him obey. That one's clever because of Andre the Giant from The Princess Bride, I assume, and then also Andre 3K, Andre 3000. So I thought that line was a fun line in Passion. Another line I like, this is from the song Postmodern, with LL Cool J saying, where he says, my mother took her tax return and invested it. She bet on her kid, and look at what he did with it. A lot of rappers are like, I'm going to buy my mom a crib, and like, obviously you could tell like there's some like respect going on. I like that LL Cool J is able to come at this angle of like she invested all of this money into me, and look what it did. Look what I'm able to give back to her and give back to everything for the rap game. Which I think that this record, The Force, is a good encapsulation. I don't know the word I'm looking for. It's a good hip hop vault almost. It takes a lot of your favorite hip hop themes and styles and no, cut that out. I think what this album does best is that it's a vault of hip hop. It's like LL Cool J's giving back to the whole hip hop game with all these clever songs and all of these funky beats, and it feels like I'm stepping back kind of in the 90s, but with this 2000s 24 modern feel to a lot of the sounds and aesthetics that were chosen inside the album. Overall, to make this album review kind of short, it doesn't need to be that long. We could have a nice short one. I really like the album. I thought it was a solid album. It kept me entertained for a whole 43 minutes, and I'll be honest, if LL Cool J drops another album, I want to listen to it. I think the first song does a really good job, Spirit of Cyrus, as an opener, introducing some themes that we hear throughout the album, rising together against an unjust system. I thought it did really good. Immediately going into The Force and Saturday Night Special, I just think that the album has such a strong opening, and then the closing with Murdergram, and then going into The Vow, it was a really good, tightly wound album that had every single line connected to each other and felt like this is one piece, this is one work of art, and you could tell there's a lot of passion and soul put into it. It's not my favorite album. I'm not the world's biggest hip-hop fan, like classic hip-hop or even some of these stuff I wasn't able to get into, but I appreciate it for what it was, and I respect LL Cool J for being a master at what he does. And of course I like Eminem, so that song was really good. As far as where I'm ranking it on my album playlist, my placement, I'm probably going to have to put it above Mother's album and below Utopia from Travis Scott. Yeah, that's where I'm putting it. If you disagree, agree, I don't care. Let me know down below, and I'll try to respond to it and see if I agree or disagree. Sorry this album review was kind of rushed and not as well thought out as I like it to be. I've been on my own venture of learning Tokipona, and that's been eating up all of my time to do a lot of the reviews and listen to it. So while I feel kind of bad this album review wasn't as in-depth as the other ones have been, I still think that I didn't do the worst job explaining my thoughts on the album. If you're curious about the Tokipona, don't worry, there's going to be videos about it out, hopefully in a month from now. We'll find out. Anyways, let me know.